You could bet your ass that we're back with another episode of the Grounded Show. It is the boys.
Yeah.
Once again.
What episode is this? 670?
68 or 67. I'm not 100% sure. Only time will tell.
We up there, man.
That's my favorite thing about time, the way it tells.
Yo, man, we're going to jump into this news real quick. It's not really anything too crazy, but it's definitely something that we can give some good, quick thoughts on. We're going to start off hot. Jussie Smollett enters rehab after extremely difficult past few years. As y'all know, Jussie Smollett was the guy that, he proclaimed a hate crime, and they ended up deciding that he was lying, and he set it up himself. There was there was a situation where Chicago wanted him to pay back all the man hours and police, work that he made everybody go through for no reason, basically. And it's saying now he is hitting rehab. What do y'all think about this?
Where was he from? Power, right?
Yeah, no. That was
Empire, I believe.
Empire.
Yeah, I like the manga. I don't really care too much about him outside of that. Like his sister, though. His sister's a legend.
Yeah, I don't know anything about him. I never watched anything that he was in, but definitely I could see how, going through that is rough to bounce back from, man. If he's going to rehab, I don't know if the problem started before that was going on or after, but definitely something you need help for. So hopefully, buddy, he gets right.
Right. So I know he had just some time, right? Like 6 months or something like that in jail.
Yeah, I believe so. Know that they ended up finding him guilty of felony disorderly conduct from lying to the police, sentenced to 150 days and 30 months probation. So yeah, it was a pretty big deal when it happened.
Mm-hmm.
I remember it was it was 2019. It was pretty much at the height of a lot of the race things that were going on in the United States, as far as rioting and as far as the highlighting of the injustices going on. So it was definitely not the time to be playing around with something like that.
Yeah. That was nuts for sure. I remember when that went down and the court case.
Yeah. Man,
I mean, I think
go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think from a rehab standpoint, like when something like that happens, I guess I could say I salute him for trying to figure that part out of it, because who knows what life has kind of brought him to as far as sobriety and trying to escape, because he was up, at that time. Empire was big, or at least coming down from being huge. His career was about to take off, at least in my opinion. I feel like a lot of people in that show had opportunities after that, so he definitely ruined a good situation for something very, very unnecessary and serve some time. That's a lot.
Wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully he get the help he need, because, just judging off what we can see, he definitely needs it.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, something that's been in the news lately, and I have like a funny spin on what I want to talk about with this, but I don't know if y'all heard, but DJ Envy's real estate business partner Caesar being arrested for fraud charges. So word had been going around that he had some kind of Ponzi scheme set up with some properties and flipping houses and things like that. They had went to the Breakfast Club to actually question or ask DJ Envy some questions about the whole situation and everything. According to what's being reported, they say that DJ Envy didn't really have nothing to do with it, as far as like actually taking money from people and doing stuff like that. But obviously, my thing about it, like the thing that I find interesting about this is, you're on the radio talking about this every single day, what you're doing. You got these seminars, you got all this stuff going on. Now they're coming to your job to, you know what I'm saying? Because you were talking about it on the radio. So now they're coming to the radio to ask you about this. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Supposedly people were like speculating there might be some violations for iHeartRadio just because of FCC violations, because of how the business was conducted. And that's the part to me that's kind of crazy. It's like, man, you really put your neck out there to talk about this on the radio every single day. When you really think about it, it's kind of crazy that they let him even do that. Because when have you ever heard of somebody just openly promoting their business every day like that? Like just, you know, just without any kind of like hiding it, no veil, nothing, just every day free promo, free promo, free promo.
That's nuts.
And so much, you know, I could see the side of the people where it's like, man, you guys are talking about this on the radio every single day. I'm assuming it's legit, you know, and now, you know, some dude is taking my money and running off. It's kind of.
And then from what I saw earlier, the feds actually raided the iHeartRadio office and seized like electronic devices.
That's crazy. I didn't see that. That's wild.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't look too deep into it to verify sources, but I remember it being like something I saw multiple times on social media while scrolling.
Yeah.
So he was wilding on there.
What you think about that, Joe?
I never looked too into it, but I'm not surprised the kind of person he is.
Even just that idea of like, you know, selling that dream every day and you know what I mean? Like I always look at it like this. Everybody makes your own decision. Obviously there's salesmen in this world, but as a person, you know that everybody don't have the same kind of drive and aspirations that you do.
Yeah.
I mean,
same morals.
Exactly. For you to try to like impart all this on people without really like, you know, letting them know like what's really behind it, because it ain't just as simple as put the money down and you're just gonna make money.
Yeah.
Like anybody that thinks that anything in this world is like that, like, come on, bro. You need to slap yourself, look in the mirror or something, because ain't no way you're just gonna put some money down on something and then it's just gonna double or it's gonna create residual income. You know, like I was talking about this with a homie the other day, like. It's hard to invest with friends a lot of times because like they want to put down $1,500 and get back $1 million. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
With little work. You know what I'm saying? It's like everybody has this idea that like, you know, they see these headlines or articles of like, oh, I took $200 and turned it into $10,000 of passive income every month. Like, bro, that's not happening for everybody. You know what I'm saying? These are like, this is lightning in a bottle that just is getting captured here and there. Like. You just got to, you know, work hard, be consistent. If you don't do that, you don't got no hope.
Yeah, it's hard for me to trust anybody who's trying to sell me something, man. It really is. I just don't buy it. No pun intended.
Facts. That salesman vibe, man, it's always iffy, bro. Like, no offense to people that are salesmen, but it's like to a certain point, you're just like dedicated to make that sale. Like, you take a lot of the human element out of it. And I feel like you can't take the human element out of business. You know what I'm saying? That's like the thing that makes good business.
Another thing too is that, like, you know, even going to that lightning in a bottle situation, you know, a lot of people will then go to sell like how it worked for them, when it's like, you know what I mean? It works for you. That don't mean it's going to work for me. You know what I mean? So then now they're using, like I said, that sales aspect to not only did they already make bread and flaunting how they make bread, but now they're trying to use their success to take your bread. You know, like, I don't know. I feel like if you made so much success, bro, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, write a book, you know what I mean? Like, or put it out in a way where it's like, if you want to spend the $14, then spend the $14. But, you know, some people out here charging $1,500 for, you know, their little step-by-step plan to success. Like, nah, bro, that's not how it works.
Yeah.
You know.
It's like, if you're really trying to help people, my bad. I was gonna say, like, you're really, really trying to help people, why is it always such a big price you're charging? Like, if you're really out there just to help people.
Yeah, it's like my thing with business or just dealing with anybody like that is like, I don't like people that pretend like we all don't need money. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I understand that to a certain point, everything's going to be transactional. Let's just be upfront about it and figure out what's going to make the most sense for everybody and keep it moving. You know what I mean? There don't need to be no smoke and mirrors. You don't need to massage it into submission. You know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, just be straight up and down. I don't need the freaking, you know, I don't need the George Michael Bluth.
Nah, facts.
But yeah, man, I don't know if we've talked about this yet, man, but they actually made an arrest on the Tupac murder, and they're setting up like
another one.
The trial dates. No, not another one, just the same one. But they're just really like gearing up to really get a verdict for this thing. Like it's just so crazy. Like I think about like being like younger, like just being a kid and thinking like watching like these little documentaries and stuff like that. Always watching the little news, the little news specials about the Tupac situation, and always hearing about like, will we ever get justice? Like them not
You
even
believe it though?
that it was them.
Hmm.
I mean, I could see it. Definitely makes sense. The story kind of lines up, and even to just think about it from a deeper sense, bro. Like sometimes, especially with like somebody like Tupac, because of the impact that he had on people and the type of artistry that he left people with, it's kind of hard to accept that he was just a guy. You know what I'm saying? Like
Hmm.
he just, from my way of looking at it, just from knowing how things go, bro. Like sometimes you just you do something to somebody, it was the wrong person. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
If somebody don't give a fuck more than you don't give a fuck, like you're done. And that's just it's to me it's that simple, like I don't think it was like anything deeper, anything less deep. Like even like these whole like crazy theories that's out there of like who was involved, like was people from Bad Boy involved, was Diddy involved? It's like, bruh, when you think about what the situation was when it was going on, if they came out and said, yo, this is what happened, I wouldn't be surprised, because it's like that was the situation they were going through. Like you think about it
Hmm.
from the point of view of like Biggie and Tupac and look at them on artist levels, but it's like these were just people through the lens of whoever felt like they wanted them gone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm not justifying it at all. It's still a tragedy, but it's just, it is what it is. People, if somebody wants somebody gone, they're not looking at them like, yo, that's Tupac. It's just a dude that wronged them in their eyes.
Yeah, that was gonna be like my next question. Kind of, what's your thoughts on like the government being involved and those kind of conspiracy theories that are out there?
I'm always very in agreement of the idea that the government is involved, but not in that exact sense. I look at it more like the cops, the FBI, like just anybody that's involved in government and officiating and stuff like that. Whenever these situations happen, these are people that are very outspoken against the government, against the police. Like Tupac was very vocal about his disapproval of the government, of the police, of how the political structure was. Like I feel like they just all kind of give you the cold shoulder on the low. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
it's not necessarily like a conspiracy where they're like actively saying, "Yo, we're gonna do X, Y, and Z," but it's kind of like, "All right, whenever you need us, we're just gonna drag our feet because this is how you feel about us." You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, I can see that. I get that.
What do
Yeah.
you think, Joe?
I never heard anything about the government, but I grew up like listening to Machiavelli. The first tracks like saying "Shook shot me." I always thought it was Shook for a while. That's pretty much what I really thought, and still until the recent years when all this other stuff, all these random documentaries started coming out. I thought it was Suge because he had so much music of Pac. He's just going to release all those albums after he died. Um, that's the only stuff I heard, and I don't know. I kind of believed that for a while, honest, because I was young.
Bro, I've seen on 3 different occasions 50 Cent specifically say that Diddy killed Tupac, bro.
Mm.
Like he said it out loud. He wrote it on Instagram. Then he posted it again on Instagram and wrote it on Instagram again. It's like, bro, that to me is kind of like the wild twist of this whole thing. Like, bro, why is he going so hard when saying this?
So I highly recommend this show. It's called Unsolved. It's on Netflix right now. It's only a season. It came out in 2017. They tapped into Russell Poole. Russell Poole was a LAPD detective. He investigated the murder of Biggie. And so while Tupac's may have been, just an unfortunate situation, Biggie's death was a little bit more sketchy. So I highly recommend y'all watch that show because they definitely tapped into it. Because once you watch the show, then you'll actually go and start going down the rabbit hole of actually figuring out who not Jordan Poole, I'm tripping. Russell Poole. Russell Poole is because there's a lot of videos on YouTube about Russell Poole and the things that he was finding out through the LAPD about Biggie's death. He spoke a lot, and then he ended up it ended up getting so bad. I think he died literally while discussing like the cases. He had like a heart attack in the sheriff's department office, like still trying to prove his theory of what happened to Biggie.
That's crazy.
Like he went out like, you know what I'm saying, trying to solve that case.
He dedicated.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know specifically with Biggie, I know that that's like more cloudy. Like I remember all the little like you're talking about. I don't think I've seen the specific one that you're talking about, Quincy, but I've seen a lot of different things about Biggie too. And it's like it's the same thing. Like there's theories, but that one's a little more like they really don't know who it is type stuff, you know?
Yeah, and that one's a little sketchy. And then if you think about it from a standpoint of Tupac being, because if I remember correctly, Tupac's was first, right?
Yeah.
Tupac then Biggie. Yeah, Tupac's being in, you know, actual unfortunate situation, and then Biggie's being kind of coordinated, I guess you could say, you know, in that East Coast, West Coast, like all of that, you know what I'm saying? It definitely trickles down into the black community, you know what I mean? From a standpoint of like whatever divides us, you know?
Yeah, that was a crazy thing, man, because at the end of the day, it was just music. Like, it's so crazy. Like, bro, we're just hearing dope music from a whole bunch of artists. Like, you can't just listen to music. Like, it's wild, man. Don't even make no sense.
It's rough.
Yeah, man. So last week we were talking about that Drake album.
Did you give it a whirl?
I gave it a whirl, man. I made it to like probably like song 8 or so. It was kind of like how I hear any other Drake. I was very surprised with the lack of enthusiasm from usual Drake fans. You know what I'm saying? Like overall, like just from people that I know, they weren't really feeling it that much, and I felt like it sounded like the other stuff that I've heard from him. You know what I mean? It didn't sound bad. Like it sounded like Drake. You know, so I was definitely surprised. Like I don't know. It's again, it's not for me, but it's definitely.
I mean, I'm definitely starting to like it more.
Yeah, like I said, it sounded good. Like it was produced well, like the Drake type music. You know what I'm saying? I definitely understood what Quincy was talking about with the features, because whenever it was like a whole like energy vibe switch whenever it went into a feature, because like Quincy said, it was just like whatever the vibe of the feature was whatever that person was on. So like whatever that person was on, that's what the song sounded like. And a few of them were like features of you know, people that I don't really particularly like that much. So it was kind of like, But you know, it's something we talked about this week too. Like it's a formula, it works. If it was so easy, anybody would do it. You know what I'm saying? Like kudos to him because he's making it happen.
Yeah. And I mean, hey, he got a #1 out of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, of course he's Drake. You know what I'm saying? So it's not as far of a shot, but hey, like you said, it works. You know, so why Break was not broken? You know?
Yeah.
I think Bad Bunny's starting to take the Drake approach too. Like he's putting out music for a specific target audience.
Yeah, he's definitely in that bag, and it kind of goes back to that topic that we've always kind of hit on with the podcast. Like, there's a specific trajectory that you can take with music, and if you take that trajectory, you got to hit those marks along the way. You know what I mean? Like, you have to be in that arena of sound, especially when it comes to pop and top 40 and Billboard and stuff like that. If you don't follow the formula, it don't work. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And like Joe was saying, bro, it's like a lot of us as artists, I mean, shit, probably every single artist in the back of their mind, they feel like, man, if I wanted to, I could make a song like that. You know what I'm saying? But all of us haven't done it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like you always gotta like that's kind of like the different approach I always have. And shout out to my boy Danny, man, because Danny kind of like put me on to this mindset back in the day, because he was engineering at the time. So him engineering kind of gave him a different outlook on just all types of music. It's like, bro, like obviously there's an audience for everybody, and everybody is doing their artistry their way, true to whatever they're trying to do. You know what I mean? So it's like you can't belittle it or say, oh, he's whack, or oh, he's doing it wrong, or he's doing X, Y, and Z. It's like, bruh, he's doing what he's doing, and if people are responding to it, God bless him, because that's what we all looking for, people to respond to it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, agreed.
But yeah, man, that kind of leads into like the next little topic. Like we've been talking a lot about just the idea of creating for yourself versus creating for others. Like it's something that I spoke to my brother about also, like because he does like a lot of YouTube videos, a lot of fighting game content, gaming content, a lot of Christian content, and he's kind of trying to not let the algorithm lead how he creates, so that he's just creating good content, and hopefully it coincides with people enjoying it as well. But that's always like that delicate balance whenever you're trying to make anything, especially like I know you can even attest to it, Joe, as far as DJing and stuff. It's like you got to make a mix that people are gonna vibe to. You can't just say,
Right.
"Oh, this is dope music. Y'all got to listen to this." Like, nah, they're gonna tell you what's the dope music. You can throw in your stuff here and there, and if it sounds good and if you know it'll sonically fit, cool. But at the same time, the people are never wrong. Like, you can't tell somebody their ear is wrong, what they enjoy is wrong. Like,
Yeah. You get like
it's all.
requests and shit. I'm like, man, I don't want to mix that shit, man. I want to mix what I want to mix.
Yep.
But like I said, you also want to please people because you also want people to enjoy it. So you got to find that line where you still give them something to enjoy, and you're not completely selfish about what you're creating. So
It's like ultimately, unless you're doing it specifically for you to sit in your bubble, it's entertainment. So you got to do what's entertaining.
That's a great way to put it. Because when I go work out, blast that shit. It's my whole workout. Yeah, I can listen to it every time, and it keeps me energized. I'm like, why doesn't everybody else do this? But yeah.
Yeah, man. It's and just like anything, period. Like as far as being creative, or as far as anything that requires any kind of thought. Like there's so many people doing different things and doing the same thing that you're doing, that you really just got to make it cut through and stand out and be something that people are like, dang, everybody else is doing it, but this person's doing it differently, and they're doing it in a dope way that catches my eye.
Yeah.
Like, that's a hard thing to do as well, cut through. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that like I always reference like comedians and respect comedians in that sense, because the comedians are like, a lot of them, they'll be doing that for like 20 years, 25 years, 15 years before they even get any kind of break. You know what I mean? Like, before anybody ever says like, oh, okay, we're familiar with you. You're funny. We're going to use you for these gigs. We're going to give you this. We're going to do that. Like comedians have to grind to get there. And it's like, with music,
they don't always get that break either.
And exactly, they don't always get the break either. And then it's like with music, it's kind of like this perception of like you got to blow when you're like a teenager, and then that's it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay, I was at a Nate Bargatze show, and like the opener before him was funny as hell. And he was like, "Yeah, he's like, we actually been doing this together." He said, "I actually thought I was funnier, but somehow he got the break." He said it just like that. And it's funny, like not Nate Bargatze, a comedian, just like a real comedian, not like an Instagram, YouTube real comedian, got popping off like TikTok and blew up, started doing shows. Now he's gonna host Saturday Night Live next week, and that's one of the biggest moves they've made. Is giving someone like that a shot, and it's crazy. And it's just it takes that shot, man, and you got to grind to be ready when you get it. But sometimes that shit don't come.
Yeah, it's that old thing of like you got to have momentum. Like you got to create momentum to have momentum. You know what I mean? Like if you're ready for the moment and somebody comes by, like I look at it kind of like a train. You know what I mean? Like if a train comes by and it's coming by slowly, if you're not moving, or if you're like sitting down, and when you see it, by the time you get up and start running, it might leave. You know what I'm saying? You might not catch it. But if you're ready, if you're already kind of jogging, if you're already up, if you're already kind of looking for the train, and then you hear it coming, and then you prepare yourself and you catch it as it goes, like you're gonna catch it. And that's kind of like a big thing that I feel like a lot of people don't understand. It's like they want kind of like that, like a hand slash, they want like an opportunity to possibly, do something, but it's like you're not doing anything to set it up for yourself. You know what I mean? You just want somebody to extend their hand to you, but you don't even have your hand out. You know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah, man, that's always a super crazy crazy battle as like somebody that's trying to do something creative. And bro, even to bring it back to Drake, like I'm pretty sure he has that battle every single day, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like he probably heard some of the joints on the album himself and was like, dang man, like I would like to do X, Y, and Z. But it's like kind of like Joe said, he on a different wave, man. He's trying to conquer the world. He ain't just trying to
Hmm.
conquer the artistic realm of let me be the best rapper. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I think like LeBron, like he's not winning championships, but he's still performing at a level to keep himself. He's doing extra stuff to keep
Yeah.
himself in talks in the high level of elite players. All the extra little shit he's doing to just keep himself out there because he's not hitting like the big milestones that he wish he could hit.
Mhm.
By taking to build his own team. I don't think he's trying to do that no more. And that's what I'm saying. Like I think they're complacent in where they are. I think Jake's complacent where he's at. I think, like you said, he's gonna keep using that recipe until it no longer works. And that's good for him. He's still in the talk of the elite artists. Ain't nobody calling him a good rapper anymore. Ain't nobody talking about his bars anymore. Um, and that's what I think probably stopped chasing, trying to be the best lyricist like he used to be,
Yeah.
and now just be a hit maker.
And man, he really just he did it all already. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? It's like to a certain point, it's like what are you gonna do? What's the motivation? Like even like with music, it's like what else do you even have to talk about at this point? You know what I'm saying? Like it's a tough thing. That's why I even like the idea of like ghostwriters and stuff, especially when it comes to singers. Like Drake, a lot of the singing stuff he does, he'll get that song from like another writer, like Party Next Door is one.
Yeah,
Majid Jordan has done stuff for him and stuff. So it's like
love them.
those joints. I love art. Like I love with singing that you're able to do that because it opens up an artist to another sound, another vibe, another feeling. Like that person could kind of transfer that emotion to you. You feel the song and you give it that same delivery, and it's a different thing than what you've been singing about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's kind of it kind of sucks, but I understand why you can't do that in rap. You know what I mean? Like rapping, people not accepting ghostwriters and stuff like that. Like I get it. Rap is in that form, it's a sport. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And it's like it makes sense. But now when we're crossing over into the hip hop category where you're not really rapping, it's just like hip hop, like which hip hop is like Lil Baby, Gunna, Young Thug, like people that aren't just like traditionally rapping. If they have ghostwriters or something, I don't mind that. You know what I'm saying? Because you're
Hmm.
not really rapping. You know what I'm
You're
saying? You
making a
kind of,
song. You're
yeah,
making a record.
exactly. You're singing your melodies like Roddy Rich. If Roddy Rich had a ghostwriter, I'd be like, oh, okay, he got a ghostwriter. You know what I mean? Like, it wouldn't be something that I'm like, oh my gosh. You know what I mean? Honestly, it's kind of something we've been talking about a little bit and alluding to, but like hip hop, I mean, rap is dying, bro. Like, rap is almost out the fucking goddamn window, bro.
Crazy too. I don't know. I think like, and you're right, man, when you say that, because it's like I feel like as the true appreciators of hip hop grow, you know what I'm saying, or rap grows, the value goes down as well. And not only is the value of actual rap going down, but the appreciation of this pop hop, I guess you could call it, is going up. You know what I mean?
that's good. I never heard that.
Yeah. So it's like, I don't know. I just feel like, I guess as we grow, you know what I mean? Like I said, I appreciate artists like Jay and Nas who can take that time and grow and still put out good lyrics and stuff that as I grow, I can still relate to and it still resonates. I guess that's kind of what I would hope from someone like Drake, being that his earlier stuff it was very thought provoking. You know what I mean? He was dropping stuff early in his career. I mean, yeah, he had ghostwriters and stuff too, but I mean, if that's the case, bro, keep them ghostwriters around. You
You know
know
what's
what I mean?
crazy?
Like,
You say that all the AI Drake verses I ever heard are some fire ass verses. And they're simple raps. It's like the shit he used to say with a bunch of punchlines, bunch of
mhm.
puns. bunch of like metaphors. They're simple raps and they're so good. And I've heard like thousands of fake Drake verses. And it's like he knows what the people want.
Yeah.
Because the people are doing it themselves now. And it sounds
that's
better
true.
than what he's doing now.
That's
Just like, yo, just let someone else write this shit for you. Like, whoever's writing these AI bars, let them write it for you, bro.
Y'all think he's falling out of love with the music?
I think it's kind of like what you said about people just don't value that kind of music anymore. You know what I mean? I could see him saying, "Why am
Not
I
a big
gonna-"
enough group of people, at least.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, why am I gonna rap like this? And then I'm putting myself in a box when I can rap like this and get do these arenas and do these crazy numbers and have these top 40 hits. You know what I mean? I think it's just kind of what we're talking about. Like, it's a formula. It's a certain style of creating to be in that mix all the time. It's a hard thing to do, but it's definitely formulaic. You know what I mean? You got to be inside a certain box.
Yeah.
What do y'all think about this Kanye and Ty Dolla $ign album that's gonna come out?
I'm hyped.
Predicting it's about to be fire.
I'm hype. Every Kanye and Ty Dolla $ign song I think I've heard, I love, man. Even that one off the Ye album, what's it called? Wouldn't Leave, I think it's called.
Yeah.
Oh man, that song, bro, it's so crazy.
I told y'all maybe, I think last episode I said I'm not excited for music anymore. I'm excited for this. It's probably the first thing I'm looking forward to and anticipating the release.
Yeah,
I am looking forward to this. That's what I was saying. Before we move on, with Bad Bunny, I was saying the last album he came out with last week is on that same level. He made music for certain fans, and now he's talking like the rich talk, and now he's calling people out on this shit. So he's taking a different turn, which I think like the Scorpion Drake took. And now it's like, look how big he was, look how consistent he was, look how on the mark he was. And now he's in that place like, damn, what do I do now?
Yeah.
Like, and the people were like, damn, like, who's this guy? Like, who is he now? He wasn't the same Bad Bunny he was for the last 4 or 5 years or 3 albums. Now it's just like, all right, he's completely changing again. And there's people who like it, and there's people who don't. And I'm not a fan, and I became a huge fan after the Trap album stopped. And now this is like a mixtape, and I'm like, I wasn't feeling it. I don't put it down, but I wasn't feeling it. It's not a Bad Bunny that I enjoy, and I was like, damn, I thought I was gonna enjoy him for the rest of the time now. And it's just seeing the evolution of artists and the decisions they make. And y'all got to go through it, man. They got to go through it just like when we make decisions for stuff. It's not gonna be the right one.
Speaking about the artistry and what we've been talking about, man, like speaking about Kanye, bro, like that's the thing about Kanye that, I think it's a big piece of what bothers Drake about the whole situation with Kanye is that Kanye is one of those guys that really just broke through because his artistry was just that good. Like he really just he had his little antics and stuff, but his main message from the beginning was, I'm better than everybody, let me show you. You know what I'm saying? And he was making better beats than everybody. Then he started making better raps than everybody. And it's like the proof was there. And what can you say? Like, you played an album and you were like, bro, like he did it again. How? Like this gets like it just has a vibe. It captures a feeling. Like he knows how to corral your emotion musically, like sonically. He knows what to do. Like that's something that it's so valuable, like as an artist, and it's why he can do all these things that he does, all these outbursts that he has, and have, reportedly 5 major labels courting him to drop that collab album with Ty Dolla $ign because they know he's about to do numbers and they know it's about to be some fire music. They're saying that it's like some of his best music as of like the recent stuff in the last 5 years.
You might have found the spark again.
Yep. And I'm excited to hear it.
I might stay up late.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie. Is this his first album since him and Kim separated? Oh, he about to drop some heat.
So I'm saying, bitch.
I mean, they were going through it. I believe in the second. What was the album? There was
The Donda 2.
Donda 2. There it goes.
Yeah,
I think they were like separated, and he was kind of saying that he was gonna get her back or something on that album. But now it's like officially.
Yeah, so he's bringing her out to the shows.
Yeah. Crazy, bro. Man, we don't got too much time to get into this, but I definitely want to touch on it and speak on this further in the future and do kind of like a deeper dive on it. But man, this WWE UFC merger, it's a lot of crazy little details in there and different threads that we could pull on. But the specific thing that I wanted to talk about this week about it was a little piece of news basically saying that Ari Emanuel, which was the Endeavor CEO, Endeavor was the company that bought UFC. So he was the guy basically at the top of UFC. They ended up doing a deal where they acquired WWE and they created like a company together with UFC. So now he's kind of the CEO of all that. And when he kind of took power, he removed Vince McMahon from the creative side of WWE. Vince McMahon is the guy that started.
Vicente McMahon.
Yeah, he didn't start it. He got it from his dad, but he's the one that basically started the nationwide presence of wrestling. He's the reason why any of us even really know wrestling. Like, even if you're a fan or not, you only really heard of it because of Vince McMahon. He's the one that promoted it like that. You know, he made wrestling a household thing.
Yep.
So Ari Emanuel comes in, you know, they buy the company, and obviously at this point, Vince agreed to sell. Somebody buys the company, they could do whatever they want. But one of the first things they do is remove him from creative. They assign Triple H, which he's married to Vince McMahon's daughter. He's been in an executive position at WWE for a long time. So they're kind of like what he's doing, so they keep him in place. He's now the head of creative. It used to be Vince McMahon, and Vince McMahon was very hands-on. He was very, they said he was very erratic. He would change a lot of things last minute. He would change, like if somebody else came up with an idea, he would change their ideas. And a lot of people said it was really hard to work with him creatively that way. And now they removed him from the situation, and they're pretty much just saying, we're going to move forward with Triple H. We don't need you anymore. Thanks.
Yeah.
What do y'all think about
Triple H, man? I want to give shout out to Triple H, man, because I know that the work he's put in. He ran the whole farm system in Florida. He was over there in Full Sail recruiting every Thursday. Him and Stephanie would go to Full Sail in Orlando and watch those NXT shows and look for the next ups, next call ups, and work with them. He major pillar of what wrestling was, what maintained the crazy shit that Vince McMahon was doing. I heard some crazy shit. I heard one that he wanted to start a story about him and his daughter being romantically involved in this stuff.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, like he was a nutcase. Yeah, he's a fucking nutcase. I think should have been gone. I think that the shit that people hate about WWE and the whole Roman Reigns tenure that everybody cannot believe has gone on, and I think that's all Vince McMahon. I think he's like the Jerry Jones of the WWE.
Facts.
Good,
It's a great
take.
analogy.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, speaking on that Triple H situation, like I believe he kind of spearheaded even that farm system, and he was kind of the ones that put all those deals together and made it what it is and created it into like a viable brand. It's on TV, you know what I'm saying? Like he made it something, basically he turned the minor leagues into a TV program / like a big event, something that's going to sell tickets. Like no league has been able to make their minor league even viable at all. You know what I'm saying? In WWE, you know, it's wrestling, whatever. You can say whatever you want. They were able to take their farm system and make it a nationally syndicated TV show. Like a lot of companies, a lot of people, the NFL can't do that. The NBA can't do that. Major League Soccer can't do that. Nobody's been able to do something like that. So it's definitely a crazy feat.
Yeah, no, facts. As far as them removing Vince McMahon, I think I made a point the other day. Let's, you know, kind of one of the things that I've seen just in business before is, you know, corporate basically buy this man's business, and they removed him. But then they realized after they removed him that they couldn't operate the business as efficiently because he had the experience. They had the money, but he had the experience. And so eventually they were forced to basically hire him back on retainer, rather than, you know, having him in a role in the company. So when they let him go, he was an employee. When they hired him on retainer, he was a contractor making way more. So they ended up losing in the end. But I'm not saying that Vince McMahon, they need Vince McMahon. But what I'm saying is I'm interested to see how it plays out. Because, like I said, I've seen it on the other end where removing that individual wasn't the right decision.
Yeah, definitely. It kind of goes back to what we said. Like, we only really know about wrestling because of Vince McMahon. You know what I mean? He's definitely the one that trained Triple H, and he's kind of been Vince McMahon's right hand man for like damn near 20 years by now. So he's probably learned enough from him, and he probably has the support from Vince McMahon. But you definitely make a great point because it kind of goes back to the Jerry Jones thing. Like, yeah, he gets in the way of football, and supposedly they could probably do better if he wasn't so mixed up in the day-to-day of the football team, but it's the most expensive franchise I believe in the world, right? Like, there's no other sports teams that's valued more than that team is. Like,
I think so, yeah.
Without even winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
exactly. I mean, and it's like you could say that kind of goes back to a thing that Jeff Teague was talking about on a podcast. I don't remember the podcast, but he was basically saying, bro, he does not care about no rings. He would take a max contract for his whole career over the rings because it's like, bro, what is a ring going to do for me? You
right.
know what I mean? And you think about it from that point of view too. Like, you got people talking about Dak Prescott and all this stuff, and he's this, he's that, whatever, bro. He's the most famous, arguably one of the most famous quarterbacks in the world just because he's the quarterback of the Cowboys. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
So he's making crazy money. He got all these endorsement deals. He got all this stuff going on. How is he losing? Because he don't got a ring. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people don't got rings.
Right.
But yeah, man, that's pretty much all I had as far as topics go. So we could get into this Billboard game real quick.
I need redemption, bruh.
Yeah, man. This was the first time. This is a little side note, man. I was in 2013, right?
Mm-hmm.
The chart was so bad, bro, that I was like, nah, I had to go to another year. Like, I couldn't even figure out like how to make like clues about it. Like, all the songs were so ass. It was a terrible. Oh man,
That's crazy.
Yeah, bro, it was tough. It definitely
2013.
Yeah, 2013. It was a rough one, bro. But yeah, so like always, man, y'all both throw out a year, and whoever's closer will go first.
Quincy.
I'm going to say 2007.
We'll say 05. But we need to know which years we already done. Oh,
No, it could be,
05.
yeah, it could be the same ones. Oh, all right, so Quincy's going to go first. Because we are in 2009.
All right.
All right, first question.
Ooh, I like this.
Quintuplet.
Mm-hmm.
So this tricking anthem from a down south legend was an instant classic. The options are Ludacris, T.I., and Trick Daddy. This tricking anthem from a down south legend was an instant classic. January 10th, 2009. Ludacris, T.I., or Trick Daddy?
Tricking anthem. You tricky bastard. Dang, man. Let me say T.I.
T.I.? All
Yeah.
right.
All right.
Is the correct artist? What's the name of the song for the point?
I got the song in my head. Whatever you like.
Yes, sir.
Let's get it.
T.I., Whatever You Like was number 9 on the charts that week.
Let's go.
It was actually on its way down, bro. It had been number 1. I didn't even know that song was a Billboard number 1
That song was
hit,
big,
bro.
yeah.
That's crazy.
Stacks on deck, Tron on ice.
All right, Joe, you got question number 2.
Vámonos, pues.
This experimental flute-driven banger led a revolution in hip-hop music for better or worse. The options are Drake, Jay-Z, and Kanye West. This experimental flute-driven banger led a revolution in hip-hop music for better or worse.
That's
Oh,
tough.
okay.
You want to guess an artist?
2009. Flute to Jay-Z.
Incorrect, my friend. Go ahead, Quincy. This experimental flute-driven banger led a revolution in hip-hop music for better or worse. Drake, Jay-Z, or Kanye West?
Drake.
Incorrect. Joe, back to
Wow.
you.
Kanye. Okay.
Kanye, this
Flutes in
experimental
2009.
flute-driven banger led to a revolution in hip-hop music for better or worse.
2009.
I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
Bro, Flutes. I gotta think of the beats with songs.
Mm-hmm.
Shit. I don't know.
2009.
You don't know?
Hold on, I get a
That
stab.
your
I get a
official
stab.
guess? Nah,
Yeah.
that was it. All right, bro. The answer was Kanye West. Heartless.
Oh wow.
Come on, that's like the
Dang.
most famous
Those are
fluty
flutes?
beat. Yes.
Yeah, I didn't even think.
Come on, bro.
Mhm.
That was like the song that made everybody start singing, bro.
I didn't know there were flutes.
Yeah.
was piano.
Oh man, I'm not. Like I said, I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed, man.
I thought at least the flutes on them Guru, but that was prior to 2009.
All right, so last one is going to Quincy. This became a woman's anthem, and this call to the unmarried was also an instant classic. The options are Rihanna, Kelly Rowland, Beyonce.
Beyonce.
Beyonce, what's the song?
Put a ring on it.
Yes, sir. Put a ring on it. Was number 1 on the Billboard Top 10 that week.
Let's go.
Bro, this 10 was loaded right here, man. I'm gonna run it down 10-1. Number 10 was If I Were a Boy, Beyonce. Number 9 was Whatever You Like, T.I. Number 8, Love Lockdown, Kanye West. Number 7, Womanizer, Britney Spears. Damn, she was still up in 2000.
Still doing her thing, bro. Mm-hmm.
Number 6, Hot and Cold, Katy Perry. She went on a crazy run too. She was all over the radio.
Yeah.
Number 5, Love Free, Taylor Swift. Damn, she just won't never go away. Number 4, Heartless, Kanye West. That was that banger, dog. The album is crazy. Yo, crazy thing, man. I realized recently, like a couple months ago, I think I told you on the chat, that I've never listened to My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy like just front to back.
Oh, that was a masterpiece.
I always just like listen to the songs, and then like I've started listening to it like just the album like since then, and I'm like, dang, bro, this is.
Did you see the visual?
No, I didn't.
Bruh, go on YouTube when you get a chance and watch the album visual. Fire.
Album visual, like an official.
Yeah.
Ooh, I gotta peep that. That sounds fire.
That junk is crazy, yeah.
All right, so number 3 was Live Your Life, T.I. featuring Rihanna. Had another one on the chart. Another one that was a number 1 that was on the way down, but it was number 2 at this time. Like, bruh, he had 2 number 1s that were on the charts at the same time. T.I. was that boy.
Mm-hmm.
All right, number 2 was Just Dance, Lady Gaga featuring Kobe Odonis. I don't know what that is.
Never knew
Number
that.
1, Single Ladies, Beyonce, man.
Mm-hmm. Queen Bey.
Hey, that wasn't a bad top 10, but you can start seeing the slippage, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That doesn't excite me like the other ones didn't.
Facts. But yeah, man, that's another. What's going on here? ¿Qué está pasando? Oh, they just started throwing out beta features like while we're on this show. Like, what's going on? Like, yeah, they threw like a random comment on the screen and said, "This is what a live comment would look like. Click on the comment to show it on the screen." Like, bro, you trying to just give me a run through right now? I'm in a live show, homie. What's wrong with you?
For real.
That thing threw me off. I'm like, somebody in here live? What's going on?
We live, baby.
But yeah, man. Like I said, man, I've been working on making these beats, dog, and these things been getting mean, bro. I'm excited. I'm getting ready to try to get some people on some of this production, man, and start putting out some music that way too. I'm excited about that,
Hell yeah.
bro.
Sure.
Joe, you got your official return date, huh?
Exactly 1 month from today. That's why I'm actually the guy who's going to ship both of our cars to Florida is texting me right now. That's why I've been having to write him back.
Nice.
Yeah. So the container gets here. We pack the container. The guy picks up the cars, and then the next day we head to the airport and fly to Orlando. We're gone for good. I mean, we're gonna come back and visit, but yeah, I'm excited to get back, man. It's gonna be a great time right before the holidays. That's my whole purpose of it. Spend Thanksgiving over there, Christmas over there. I'm looking forward to it.
Super dope.
Yeah, man. Excited to have you back in the groove, bro. It's gonna be dope.
Yeah. So I said, bro, we're gonna definitely gonna switch things up, man. If Quincy could come down, do more live shows, just do more shows with three of us together in the same room, try to get that set up. I think we can do a lot of different things now that I'm closer. I'm not on the other side of the country, so
yeah, man. It'll be dope if we can do a live show this year, man. Like not a live show, but all of us together. You know what I mean? Like an in-person show.
I definitely don't see that being an issue for sure. Especially if you have that thing we was talking about. We'll talk more, offline. But the thing at your crib.
Yes, sir, man. I'm excited, bro. All I ever want to do is stay butter.